In the last class in rigid body dynamics, we discussed about the moment of inertia of different types of rigid bodies like cylindrical rigid bodies, circular rigid body, rectangular rigid body. What will be the moment of inertia we discussed in the last class. But in today's class, we are going to study one of the important concept of rigid body dynamics, that is compound pendulum. In this compound pendulum topic, we are going to study what will be the time period of oscillation, how much time it will take to oscillate, and the time period depends on which factors. All these concepts we are going to study in the compound pendulum, and also relation between the time period oscillation of compound pendulum and also the simple pendulum. What will be the relation between the time period oscillation between the compound pendulum and also the simple pendulum, and also the center of oscillation and center of suspension are interchangeable. We have to discuss how the center of oscillation and the center of suspensions are interchangeable. These concepts mainly asked in the examination show that the center of oscillation and the center of suspensions are interchangeable, and the last concept will be condition for the maxima minima for the time period of oscillation. All these sub concepts will comes under the compound pendulum. So major question asked from this unit will be write the theory of compound pendulum. Other words, they will ask show that the center of oscillation or the center of suspension are interchangeable. Let us discuss one by one. First will be, let us understand what you mean by compound pendulum. So compound pendulum is one type of rigid body having the capable of oscillating about its horizontal axis. The compound pendulum is also one of the rigid body having the capable of oscillating about its horizontal axis with a point of mass. Here the point of mass is called a point of suspension. So definition of compound pendulum is a rigid body It is also a rigid body and having the capacity to oscillate about horizontal axis. Always the compound pendulum oscillates in a horizontal axis with a center of mass, with a center of suspension of mass or a point of mass. That point will be called as point of suspension. Point of suspension. That means if you take this will be the point of suspension. Point of suspension is nothing but the point where the length or a thin part of the pendulum will be fixed. So it will always oscillates in a horizontal axis. Horizontal axis is nothing but like this. So it's always oscillates in a horizontal axis. This will be the definition of compound pendulum. Compound pendulum is a rigid body having the capacity to oscillate in a horizontal axis with a point of mass. That point will be called as point of suspension. Here the point of suspension will be the S will be the point of suspension. It always oscillates in a horizontal axis. So next will be, we have to discuss time period of oscillation. How much time it will takes to oscillate in a compound pendulum. Compound pendulum, how much time it takes to oscillate, let us discuss that. So time period of oscillation of compound pendulum. So firstly I told that the compound pendulum is nothing but having the capacity to oscillate in a horizontal axis. So this is the center of suspension, and if you take the oscillation like this is G, center of gravity, and the point P, this is mg and this is G dash, this will be our length, this is our theta. So if we consider this is our one frame and this is our oscillating frame. So, firstly here S is nothing but center of suspension. And G is gravity, center of gravity. So, when you move the compound pendulum from here to here, it will make an angle theta. So, when the compound pendulum is get displaced from one position to another position, here one position will be point B to point G dash, it will make an angle, small angle theta. So, here mg will be the force acting, downward force acting. So, mass and the gravity, the down force acting on it. So, the force acting downwards will be given by mg will be given by mg, theta will be its angle. So, L will be the length from S to G, G dash. So, what happens means if you make to oscillate the compound pendulum, the torque or a restoring force will be produced when the displacement of the compound pendulum takes place from one place to another place. The restoring coupler force will be produced. The restoring coupling force is always given by the torque will be equal to mg into bg dash. So, this will be the restoring force, restoring accelerating force that is given by mg into bg dash. So, bg dash or with it will be given by, so torque will be equal to mg sin theta L. From the right angle triangle we can write this. So, tau will be given by mg theta L, because in this case the angle of displacement will be very small. That means the sin theta will be equal to only the theta, very small, so that this term will be become theta. So, I will write this as like this, minus mg theta L, because this negative sign indicates that always the force are always acting towards its virginal position or towards its mean position. That means when you oscillate the compound pendulum, it will displace some angle theta and again it comes to the mean position with a outward direction or in a opposite direction. So, it will be represented by minus mg theta L. So, restoring force will be given by minus mg theta L. Negative sign indicates that the displacement in a compound pendulum moves in a reverse direction or towards its mean position. So, that the negative sign indicates that. So, generally we know that the inertia when the displacement will be takes place in a compound pendulum or the restoring force acting on a compound pendulum means it will rise to lead on acceleration. Okay. So, restoring force is rising means it will rise, restoring force is acting means it will give rise to an acceleration and also it will give an moment of inertia. So, when the restoring force is acting on a compound pendulum means it will give rise to an acceleration and also moment of inertia. So, that the moment of inertia will be given by I. Normally the restoring force will be given by I alpha. So that this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. This is the general restoring force or general restoring coupling. So that we can write this as, I will write here. So from equation 1, I alpha will be given by minus mgl theta. I alpha is nothing but d square theta by dt square, that will be equal to minus mgl theta. So if we simplify this, I d square theta by dt square plus mgl theta, that should be equal to 0. Other words, d square theta by dt square plus mgl theta divided by I, that is equal to 0. So here we can rewrite this equation 3 as, firstly I told that when the restoring force will be acting, acceleration will be produced and the moment of inertia will be produced. So we can write this equation 3 as, so d square theta by dt square plus omega square theta, that should be equal to 0, where omega square will be equal to mgl divided by I. So omega square will be equal to mgl divided by I. So omega will be equal to root of mgl divided by I. So if you remove the square, it will become root of mgl divided by I. So generally we know that omega is nothing but 2 pi divided by t. Just substitute that, so that equation will be become 2 pi divided by t will be equal to root of mgl divided by I. So if you simplify this, t will be equal to 2 pi root of I by mgl. This is equation number 4. This is very important. So this will be the equation represent the time period of oscillation, so in a compound pendulum. So general form of time period of oscillation in a compound pendulum. So normally we know that the moment of inertia in a compound pendulum, before going to that, generally we know that in a rigid body dynamics or from the parallel axis theorem, we can say that this is our G and this is G dash, this is L. From the parallel axis theorem, we can write the I moment of inertia as mk square plus ml square, means here k will be the radius of gyration. So we can write as mk square plus L square. Instead of I, just substitute, the equation 4 will be become t will be equal to 2 pi root of m k square plus L square. Instead of I will substitute these values and m g L. Just simplify this equation, that is 2 pi. So m get cancelled, we left with 1 by g k square L plus L get cancelled, we left with L. So this is also the general representation of or simplified form of time period oscillation of compound pendulum. Instead of this, we can rewrite this as, so time period oscillation will be equal to 2 pi root of 1 by g. Instead of these values, I will write this as L or 2 pi root of L by g. Here L will be the length of oscillation of simple pendulum. So L will be equal to k square L plus L. So these are all the basic formulas we needed to simplify the problems. Firstly, the time period of oscillation, general time period of oscillation will be given by 2 pi root of I by mgl. So, we know that I will be the moment of inertia from the theorem of parallel axis theorem. Just substitute the I value, that is mk square plus ml square. By simplifying these, we get the simplified formula of time oscillation of compound pendulum, that is 2 pi root of 1 by g k square L plus L. So, here k square divided by L plus L will be represented as capital L. Here capital L be the length of the pendulum, simple pendulum. Okay. First step will be completed, that is the period of oscillation of compound pendulum, and next part of this compound pendulum is we have to compare the time period of oscillation of simple pendulum and time period of oscillation of compound pendulum. So, generally the time period of oscillation of compound pendulum will be given by 2 pi root of 1 by g k square L plus L. So, this is the time period of oscillation of compound pendulum. So, then L will be given by, so L value will be k square L plus L. So, by comparing these two or comparing the values of time period of compound pendulum, this is time, compound pendulum. So, general time period will be given by T will be equal to 2 pi root of, so 1 by g and L. So, we can rewrite this as 2 pi root of L by g. By comparing equation 1 and equation 2, we get, so 2 pi root of 1 by g k square L plus L, that should be equal to the time period of oscillation of simple pendulum, that is L by g. So, here 2 pi and 2 pi get cancelled, the square and square get cancelled, we left with 1 by g k square L plus L will be equal to L by g, and these two get cancelled, we left with k square L plus L should be equal to capital L. From this equation, we can say that the time period of oscillation of simple pendulum and the time period of oscillation of compound pendulum will be equal to L length of that suspension. That means, if you consider the compound pendulum, that should be equal to this length. This is mg, this is point of suspension, and this is L. So, that means if you consider the period of oscillation of compound pendulum and the period of oscillation of simple pendulum, that should be always equal to k square L plus L, that is same as that of the length of the compound pendulum. So, we can say that the length of the compound pendulum, time period of compound pendulum and the time period of simple pendulum, that should be equal to, by comparing we get the L value, that will be equal to k square divided by L plus L. So, this will be the comparison between the time periods of compound pendulum and also the time periods of the simple pendulum. So, this is the time period of simple pendulum. So, only difference between simple pendulum and the compound pendulum will be depends frequency matter. So, it will depend, frequency will be depends on the length, and this will be depends on the radius of gyration and also depends on the mass. So, we can say that only the difference between simple pendulum and the compound pendulum will be, simple pendulum frequency will be depends on the this length value. That means what will be the length of that suspend wire, it will always depends on that in a simple pendulum. But in the compound pendulum always depends on the radius of gyration and also in the masses. Okay. So, difference between simple pendulum and the compound pendulum, both are one and the same, both are rigid bodies, but only difference in the frequencies will be depends on length. Here in a compound pendulum will be depends on the radius of gyration. Okay. Next concept will be show that the center of oscillation and the center of suspension are interchangeable. For this we have to consider that the suspension of a compound pendulum. So, this is the suspension of a compound pendulum, this is G between O and O dash. From O to G, the length will be given by L small l. From here to here, this will be L dash. So, total length will be L. Okay. So, here G will be the center of gravity and O dash will be the suspension. We are going to study our center of suspension and center of oscillation are interchangeable. We can change that values. So, that the time period of oscillation will be given by, in a compound pendulum will be given by 2 pi root of 1 by G and k square L plus L. So, this will be the time period of oscillation of a compound pendulum. So, normally we know that the L will be equal to L plus L dash. So, instead of this we can write this as T will be equal to 2 pi 1 by G, this value will be L. So, that we can write T will be equal to 2 pi, instead of L we can write L plus L dash 1 by G k square L plus L dash plus L plus L dash. So, we can write this as 2 pi 1 by G and L plus L dash divided by G for suspension along O. So, for this if you consider the suspension along O, so this will be the formula. Similarly, if you consider the suspension along O dash, we get the time period of oscillation will be root of L plus L dash will be equal to G. So, that means the angle of suspension from O to G will be L, from G to O dash will be L dash. So, by substituting L by L dash and substituting L dash by L, we get a two time period of oscillation. From this equation we can say that angle of suspension and the angle of oscillation are interchangeable. So, that the angle of suspension and the angle of oscillation will be interchangeable means, so there will be total length will be equal to L plus L dash. So, for this we have to write, firstly we have to derive the time period of oscillation. After that, by taking the time period of oscillation formula, we have to substitute L by L plus L dash. From these two equations we can say that angle of suspension and the angle of oscillations are interchangeable. So, next main concept of this compound pendulum will be, so we have to study the maxima and the minima for a simple compound pendulum. So, what will be the maxima and the minima condition for a compound pendulum? So, for this also consider the time period oscillation, same formula, that is 1 by G k square L plus L. So, by taking this formula, first step is for this will be for maxima and minima condition. So, time period squaring on this we get 4 pi square If you square this, square root get cancel, we left with 1 by g k square L plus L by squaring on this. So, 4 pi square 1 by g k square L plus L. So, differentiating this equation with respect to L, we get 4 pi square and dt by dl, that should be into minus k square L plus 1. If you differentiating with respect to L, that should be equal to 0. So, if you simplify this, we know that this value dt by dl, that should be equal to 0, means if you substitute this value as 0, the whole term will be become 0. Okay. So that this value, that is minus k square L plus 1 should be always equal to 0. This is not equal to 0, so that this value will be equal to 0. So, if we simplify this, minus k square L, that should be equal to minus 1, minus minus get cancelled, k square divided by L will be equal to 1, k square will be equal to L. So, k will be equal to plus or minus L. So, other words, if you substitute L value as 0, so time period will be become infinity. That means, in this condition the time period will be maximum for a, if you consider the length will be equal to plus or minus 1 or infinity, this means it will tells that the condition of maxima. The compound pendulum will be oscillating in a maximum oscillations in this condition. Okay. So, for minima, if you consider the gyration, radius of gyration will be equal to 0, means or equal to L, means we get a minimum value of oscillation. So, only we get the k value plus or minus 1 or k value will be equal to 1, means we get a maximum oscillation. Similarly, k will be equal to L, means we get a minimum oscillation of time period oscillation. From this we can conclude that if you the length will be it will be depends on the length. So, if you takes the L value or k value 1, means that will be the maximum condition, or t will be the infinity, means that will be the maximum condition. If we consider k will be equal to L, means that is minimum condition, the time oscillation will be very small. So, this will be very small only when the radius of gyration will be equal to the length of that pendulum. So, this length always equal to the radius of gyration, means this will be the minimum condition. Oscillation will be very small. So, this is all about the compound pendulum theory. So, for this theory we studied that what will be the time period of oscillation and super oscillation and the time period oscillations, and also the difference between simple pendulum and a compound pendulum, and in this topic we study the maximum and the minimum condition for a oscillation, and show that oscillation and the suspension are interchangeable. All these concepts will comes in a compound pendulum topic. Okay. Next will be we have to solve some of the problems related to the rigid body dynamics. Next will be problems related to the rigid body dynamics. Let us solve some of the problems in today's class. So, first problems will be a circular disc of mass 0.5 kg and the radius 0.1 meter. It is making 60 revolution per minute about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. Calculate the kinetic energy. So, in this formula we have to write the given and also the kinetic, we have to find out the what will be the kinetic energy. So, before going to that we have to write the given values of this problem. First one will be, we have to read this again, a circular disc of mass. So, this is our mass. So, circular disc having some mass. So, there will be a difference between circular disc and the circular ring. Okay. So, circular disc having the mass 0.5 kg. So, m will be 0.5 kg. If they given in the grams means we have to convert that for a kg. So, 0.5 kg and the radius of the disc, that means if we consider this will be the circular disc having the mass 0.5 and the radius. So, this is the center O and the radius that should be equal to 0.1 meter. This distance will be equal to 0.1 meter. After that, it is making 60 revolution per minute. So, this is very important. It will make the 60 revolution per minute. That means, if you oscillate that circular disc, it will takes the 60 revolution per minute. So, we need a 60 revolution per second. So, we can write that as n number of revolution per second. So, here they given the 60 revolution per minute. So, we need a 60 revolution. What will be the revolution per second? So, for 1 minute 60 revolution will be takes place. What will be for 1 second? So, that 60 divided by 60 we get a 1 number of revolution will be 1 revolution per second. So, this will be per second. For 1 second it will revolves 1 number of rotation, and also we have about its axis passing through its center perpendicular to the plane. Is nothing but it will always passing through its center and perpendicular. Axis will be always perpendicular. We have to find out the kinetic energy. So, kinetic energy will be given by Ke will be equal to half I omega square. Here I will be the moment of inertia, omega square will be the angular velocity. So, before going to that, we have to find out what will be the moment of inertia and what will be the angular velocity. So, inertia will be given by I m r square divided by 2. Here they given radius and passes through the center means it will 2. If they given diameter means it will 4, r square divided by 4. So, if you substitute the m value will be 0.5 into r square means 0.1 whole square divided by 2, we get the moment of inertia, that is 2.5 into 10 power of minus 4 kg meter square. So, we get a moment of inertia. So, we need a angular velocity omega square. So, omega will be given by 2 pi n. N is the number of revolution, just substitute the values, we get the omega value, that is 2 pi. Just substituting these values, that is kinetic energy will be given by half into 2.5 into 10 power of minus 3 into omega square will be 2 pi whole square. We get a kinetic energy, that is 49.29 into 10 power of minus 3 joules. Here the units are very important. For the moment of inertia kg meter square, for kinetic energy unit will be joules. So, from this problem we get the kinetic energy as 49.29 into 10 power of minus 3 joules. For this we have to write this formula first, after this, and after this by substituting all the values we get here 49.29 into 10 power of minus 3 joules. When you take the circular disc, axis will be passes at a center. Okay. So, let us solve the second problem. A thin metallic ring of radius 0.5 meter and mass 0.5 kg starting from the rest and rolls down of the foot of the plane is 5 meter per second. Calculate the moment of inertia and the kinetic energy. So here we have to find out both moment of inertia and the kinetic energy. For this a thin metallic ring of radius, they given the radius that is 0.5 meter and the mass that is 0.5 kg, start from the rest and rolls down in a foot of plane of 5 meter per second. So velocity, they given the velocity that is 5 meter per second. Instead of giving the number of rotation or a n value, they given the velocity value. By using this velocity value, we have to find out what will be the omega, kinetic energy and the moment of inertia. So kinetic energy will be given by half I omega square. So omega square will be always equal to V square divided by R square. So V square will be equal to phi square divided by R square is nothing but 0.5 whole square. We get a omega square value. Okay, by substituting the values we get a omega square value. So I will be equal to m r square. So here they doesn't given any axis of rotation or axis of revolution. So that general moment of inertia will be m will be equal to, I will be equal to m r square. So m will be 0.5 into 0.5 whole square. By substituting this we get a moment of inertia as 0.125 kg meter square. So after that we get a two values of moment of inertia and also the omega value. By substituting these values we get a kinetic energy, that is half I will be 0.125 into V square is nothing but 5 square, R square is nothing but 0.5 whole square. By substituting all the values we get a kinetic energy, that is 6.25 joules. So here they doesn't given any axis, so that we consider the general moment of inertia, that is I will be equal to m r square. If they given passes through its center, means we have to take the moment of inertia of axis passes through its center, that is I will be equal to m r square divided by 2. Okay. If they consider passes through its diameter, means we have to consider that r square divided by 4. Okay. So next very important problem will be a circular disc of mass 0.1 kg, they given the mass 0.1 kg and the radius 0.1 meter, making 120 rotation per minute. In the first problem only I told that they given rotation 120 rotation per minute, we need a rotation per second. So that if you divide the rotation per minute by 60, we get a number of rotation per second, that is 120 divided by 60 means 2 rotation per second. It will take 2 rotation per second. About its axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane. Same formula. So we have to find out the omega and we have to find out the inertia. By here the same passing through its center means divided by 2. Only difference is we have to concentrate on the n value. N value will be number of rotation per second will be given as 2. In the first case they given 60, instead of 60 they given 120. Just substituting all the values we get the kinetic energy as 3.94 into 10 power of minus 4 joules. This is 3 problems related to the circular disc, moment of inertia and the kinetic energy of a rigid body dynamics. So in today's class we discussed the one of the important concept of compound pendulum and also some of the problems. In compound pendulum, time period of oscillation of compound pendulum and the relation between the time period oscillation of simple pendulum and also the compound pendulum, the minimum and the maximum condition for a compound pendulum and also some problem related to the rigid body dynamics. Thank you.